Hey kids, it's Ask Pastor Noah, your chance to ask your questions and get an answer from one of your pastors. This week's question comes from Sebastian. Sebastian asked, we learned that God is king. Well, king of what? That's a great question, Sebastian. The Bible has a lot to say about God as king. Psalm 47, 6-7 says, sing praises to God, sing praises to our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth, sing praises with a psalm. The Bible says that God is the King of everything. In fact, the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 21 says that He changes times and seasons, that He removes kings and He sets up kings. God is so much in charge that at His word, kings receive their kingdom, and with the snap of His fingers, they lose it. And an interesting thing happens in the Old Testament. God begins to talk about a future king, a king that will one day come to sit on the throne of Israel forever. Psalm 2 verse 6 says, as for me, I have set my king on Zion, my holy hill. We learn later that this king will be the great-grandson of King David, that he'd be born in Bethlehem, and all sorts of other things about him specifically. And Isaiah 9, 6-7 says, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end. And on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Ultimately, we find out that this king is none other than Jesus. So when Jesus showed up, working miracles and preaching the good news of the gospel, everyone expected him to set up his kingdom on the earth. But Jesus himself told us in John 18, my kingdom is not of this world. But instead, he had come to die in the place of sinners, forgiving us and bringing us back to God. Ephesians 1 says, God raised him from the dead and seated him at the right hand in the heavenly places, far above all rule and authority and power and dominion, and above every name that is named, not only in this age, but also in the one to come. And Revelation 19:16 says he's coming back, and when he does, this is what he's going to look like. On his robe and on his thigh, he has a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. In fact, many places in the Bible give him this title. It means that he is the king over every king, and he's the master or Lord over every master and Lord. And so here's my question for all of you. Because Jesus is king, what are the ways that we should submit to his rule and reign in our lives? What are some specific ways that we should obey him?